spawner to the leaky cauldron, although it looks a little bit different today, and it's currently undergoing a new paint job. When they made it to Diagon Alley, they wouldn't be able to do much without a quick visit to Gringotts Wizarding Bank, whose magnificent interior was provided by this place, Australia House. A remarkable Grade II listed building containing Australia's oldest diplomatic mission and built from an array of materials imported from home. But it's nearly 11 o'clock somewhere, and the Hogwarts Express is getting ready to leave. So we've come here to St. Pancras Station? Yeah, that's right. St. Pancras Station was used for exterior shots of King's Cross Station, which is just over there. Only seen briefly in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and in the epilogue. The Gothic architecture displayed by St. Pancras was far more impressive than the 60s brickwork of King's Cross, where our story continues. Hagrid and Harry walked over the old bridge that used to stand here, leaving Harry to go find platforms 9 3/4. But since there's no divide between platforms 9 and 10, the divide between platform 4 and 5 was used. This pillar here was covered with a fake wall to widen it and protect it from all the trolleys that came smashing into it, which is probably part of the reason they installed this, so people can get their photos taken. King's Cross featured in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, the Prisoner of Azkaban, and the Order of the Phoenix. It was due to feature in the epilogue of the Deathly Hallows Part 2, but the scene was reshot in the studio. The waiting room where Sirius and Harry talk was actually where Platform 0 is now, on the opposite side of the station to where the back of the Harry Potter shop at Platform 9 3/4 sits now. But it's time to catch the train. I've got my luggage here, and I'll see you on the other side. Platform 9 3/4 itself was just a reset Platform 4, with the beautiful Hall-class Hogwarts Express waiting on the other side. Wait a sec. Did anyone else catch those cameras? Must be a story behind those. Anyway, we can see King's Cross slip away in this lovely shot as we head off to our next location. The train we're jumping on, the train that goes to the kingdom where we're having fun, we're having fun. The train will leave the station. I'm sure all the students enjoyed their trip through the Yorkshire countryside on the Hogwarts Express, which took them all the way to Hogsmeade Station, brilliantly portrayed by Goathland Station. This beautiful little station on the North Yorkshire Moors Railway is remarkably untouched by time, the perfect spot for a wizarding railway, and exactly what I picture when imagining Hogsmeade Station. Surprisingly, Goathland only featured in the Philosopher's Stone, though I'm sure its influence carried on into later films and games. Arriving at Hogwarts, it's time to explore the great wealth of real-life locations used to depict the interior of the magical wizarding school. Christ Church, Oxford, provided the stairway where Harry first meets McGonagall, Draco Malfoy, and many others. A Christ Church hallway was also used for the scene where Hermione reveals that Harry's father, James, was also a Gryffindor Seeker, and its dining hall is also said to have inspired the Great Hall itself. Christ Church is a constituent college of the University of Oxford. It was founded by King Henry VIII, and isn't the only time the University of Oxford features in Harry Potter. But we'll come back to that. Another remarkable location used for Hogwarts was Gloucester Cathedral. First seen housing the Fat Lady at the entrance to the Gryffindor Tower, the stunning and intricately designed hallways of the cloister were used for multiple scenes in the first two films. Then again for the Half-Blood Prince, linking Harry's last year at Hogwarts to the start of his journey. Even now, students still loiter in the hallways. Have they even read Educational Decree number 24?
I will have order!
Another remarkable location lending its walls to Hogwarts was Durham Cathedral. Durham Cathedral featured extensively in the first two films. The walkways in the cloister were used for interior shots, often depicting characters either leaving or going to Professor McGonagall's Transfiguration classroom, filmed in Durham Cathedral's chapter house. The cloister garth was used for multiple scenes, often combined with the walkways. It was covered in fake snow for this wintry shot, and was the original location of this iconic line.
A gift from Draco's father.
The cathedral sits atop a hill along with Durham Castle in the centre of the city. On our way up to its lofty heights, we came across an interesting street full of characterful old buildings, as if Diagon Alley met Little Italy. Moving on to a hub of filming, and the next place to appear on screen. Laycock Abbey provided multiple interior locations for the first two films. Let's head in. Our first stop at Laycock Abbey was the cloister, where we saw a very familiar sight. Just imagine it's night time.
Oh, professors.
Walking down the corridor, we came across this rustic old room. Potions, perhaps? No, this was Professor Quirrell's Defense Against the Dark Arts room. However, rather confusingly, on the other side of the corridor, we came across this similar room. And this one was Snape's Potions class. Lastly, Laycock Abbey's majestic chapter house served as the perfect location for something as important and mysterious as the Mirror of Erised. And that one mostly deleted scene with students studying. But forget about that. It's the mirror we're here for. Back down into London for our next classroom. Professor Flitwick's Charms class was filmed here at Harrow School, in the fourth form room. The large window behind Professor Flitwick is this very window. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go in, as much as we wanted to, if only to get out of the rain. Harrow School is a boarding school for boys, founded in 1572, with such distinguished alumni as Winston Churchill. The fourth form room that became the Charms classroom is the oldest part of the school and opened in 1615, making it a perfect fit for Hogwarts. The carvings seen all over the wood panelling are the names of every boy to attend the school between the 1660s and 1847. Heading back to our favourite university. Oxford's Bodleian Library was used for multiple interior shots. Duke Humphrey's library above was used as the Hogwarts Library, but sadly that was restricted today. And below, the Divinity School was used as both the hospital wing and for dance classes. Named for Humphrey of Lancaster, 1st Duke of Gloucester, a younger son of Henry IV, who donated 281 books to the library upon his death in 1447. This part of the Bodleian Library featured in both of the first two films. As Hogwarts' library, Duke Humphrey's library was where Hermione did much of her research, and was of course home to the restricted section, where Filch gave chase to Harry.
Who is it?
The Divinity School below was built between 1427 and 1483, and is one of the oldest buildings at the University of Oxford. The Divinity School became the Hogwarts Hospital wing for the first two films, and reappeared in The Goblet of Fire, this time for dance practice with Professor McGonagall. Now we head to a Hogwarts location right in the centre of London. This beautiful building that you see behind me is St. Paul's Cathedral, and it lent its magnificent clock tower staircase to become a staircase for one of the towers of Hogwarts, leading students up to the divination class with Professor Trelawney.
I'm so sorry, dear boy. Did you say something?
A church has stood in this spot since 604 AD, though the current building was completed in 1710, after its predecessor was largely destroyed in the Great Fire of London. The stairs featured in both The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Goblet of Fire, and in fact, as you can see, it's the exact same shot. They thought we wouldn't notice. They also used a similar set for the Deathly Hallows Part 2, though no cheeky footage was reused. Once more into the centre of Oxford, this time the cloister at New College, where poor Draco Malfoy was turned into a ferret. New College is another constituent college at the University of Oxford, and despite its name, it's one of the oldest. And yes, this was the spot where the hilarious altercation between Malfoy and Mad-Eye Moody took place. Maybe chosen because of its relative closeness to